Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Please answer these questions from initials AM, from the town or the place, initial S. Inshallah, I'll be making Hajj this year. What are some essential things to pack? And I'm taking my wife with me, Barakallahu Fik, too. What was Masjid Dirar? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Allah bless you, my esteemed disciple, brother in Islam. The best thing to pack with you when you make Hajj and Umrah isn't something that's necessarily tangible or physical, but it's something that's metaphysical, and that is a taqwa, the taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the Quran al-Kareem, Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah says, وَتَزَوَّدُوا. Allah tells us to outfit yourselves, prepare yourselves, pack, get ready, gear up. وَتَزَوَّدُوا. Take a zad, a provision, a sustenance, outfit yourselves, make sure that you're ready. فَإِنَّ خَيْرَ الزَّادِ التَّقْوَى. The best provision, Allah says, is taqwa. It's the best thing to outfit yourself. That's the best way of protecting yourself and getting ready. That's the best way of strapping up and gearing up to ride out and to travel thousands of miles across all types of bodies of water, all types of deserts, all types of mountain slopes, all types of hills, all types of things that you're going to encounter. The best thing to keep with you, to take with you, to pack with you is the taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah then says, وَاتَّقُونِ يَا أُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. And O men of understanding, O women who have intelligence, who have clear minds, fear me, have taqwa of me. So Allah told us the best thing to have is taqwa, and then He informed us to have taqwa more and again. So that's the best piece of advice. And from the manifestations of a taqwa, first and foremost is lowering the gaze. You're going to see many things when you make Hajj or Umrah, many things. And it doesn't just mean lowering the gaze from ajnabiyya, a woman that you're not married to, that you're not a mahram of. It's going to be men with their awrah exposed. There's going to be all types of things being said and done that you lower your gaze from. That's from the manifestations of a taqwa. From the manifestations of a taqwa is not losing your anger, keeping control of yourself, not snapping out, not becoming egotistic. Someone push you, someone step on you, someone push you in the back, someone spit on you, someone call you a bad name, someone call you from a country that you're really not from because of the color of your skin. All these things happen on Hajj and Umrah. The bus is late, the buses broke down, the hotel, they messed up your room, you asked for 2 beds instead of 1 bed, and the list goes on. Promises that were made to you, and the list goes on. So from the manifestations of this provision and the sustenance, the zad of taqwa is not becoming angry, not losing your temper. Also, is to try your best to avoid idle speech, baseless speech, gossip, sports, and these things. They should be left in America, left in the UK, left in Australia. You're a human being, of course. You're on a plane, you're walking, oh this, that. You're a human being. But they should be left. And you should try to minimize your speech regarding those things as much as possible. Also from the manifestations of a taqwa is to have a kind heart and to help people. Somebody, they fell down. Someone doesn't have any food. You share your food with them. You give them their food. You help out an old lady. Her wheelchair is broken. You help somebody out. You give them a fatwa. You tell them what's permissible based off of what you know from the teachings that have been given to you. And you may think that you don't have a lot of knowledge, but you meet this brother who comes from, let's say anywhere, Bangladesh or Algeria, wherever the country is. This person may not, maybe they never even heard of this thing in a day in their life. They never even heard of a thing called the thing that you learned and you read about and you studied about. So pass on the knowledge to the people. And the list goes on from the manifestations of a taqwa. And to perform the acts of the Hajj and Umrah with vigor, with stamina. Don't complain. Don't lean over and pant and breathe hard and let's just do it to get rid of it or to get over with it. I'm trying to get back to the hotel, get back to the bus, it's too crowded. Do it with the passion, with the taste. Bidnai subhanahu wa ta'ala, seeking the joy of the ibadah. As far as the tangible things to pack, they be in the subhanahu wa ta'ala. I would advise you to pack power foods, superfoods, and all aspects of the meaning of the word power and super. A food that is lightweight, a food that doesn't spoil too fast, a food that gives you a lot of energy, a lot of stamina, a food that's a little bit but packs a big punch and gives you the ability to not eat your normal cooked meal or prepared meal, but you can make the tawaf, you can make the sa'i, whether it's nuts, or whether it's honey, whether it's rice with honey. If you make your own pills, which many people would do back in the day, before the days of energy bars and energy drinks, they would make the energy drinks and bars themselves, and they will put certain power-packed foods in a small, tiny capsule. And it's natural, and they would eat it when they couldn't get to food, when they didn't have access to running water or to hot water, and the list goes on. So whether it's fruit, whether it's, for example, beef jerky, halal beef jerky, it's light, it's easy to carry, it gives you protein, all right? Whether it's mixed nuts, whether it's dried fruit, dried apricots, all right? All different types of things which will give you the necessary strength and the necessary energy, also to stay hydrated. Take the foods, pack the foods that will give you the hydration, which is a well-known technique of the past as well. And many things you may not be able to find there. Some things you can. There is Bin Dawood Market and so on and so forth. When I was there, things have changed in a couple of years since. I went out with the Hajj group and leading people and making the Hajj with the people. All right. So trying to take advantage of all of those things, the foods and the drinks here in America. And the best place for these things is camping. Okay, you go to a camping store, you find all types of stuff. Yeah, they have dry frozen ice cream bars, literally. An ice cream sandwich in a package that doesn't spoil, that doesn't rot. You open up and you eat it. It's as if it's fresh. How do they do that? Who came up with that idea? Allah knows best, but it's there. So that's perfect. Fits in your suitcase, fits in your pouch, your bag. You can take it with you. The bus is stuck down. Bus is broke down. People are complaining. Bismillah. Ice cream sandwich at Arafah. All right. Certain sandals, whether it be Crocs. We're not doing no advertisements for companies, but any type of sandal that is light, that's sturdy, whether it be rubber, whether it be leather, that's tough and rugged, that will protect your feet from getting trampled on and stepped on. It's permissible to wear. It's waterproof. When water gets on it, it doesn't smell, it doesn't spoil, okay? Something like that, all right? Sleeping bags. Definitely pack for yourself, for your wife, a nice sleeping bag. Quality sleeping bag. Easily rolled up, easily tucked. A sleeping mat, foam. I mean, we're in 2017. The technology, the breakthroughs that Allah has allowed man to discover is amazing. All right? So camping stores, army stores as well. Army, Navy, military grade type things. Things that are made to be thrown around and tossed around. Things that are made to be wrapped up, inflated, deflated, easily repacked, easily stored. That's the best type of gear to get. Scentless deodorant, something that you want to get here in America. Not with scent, but scentless. All types of different petroleum jellies, certain types of Vaselines will prevent you from rubbing and chafing when you're not wearing your normal clothes. All right, all types of foot pads, things like this, different ointments for the feet that don't have fragrance in them. Your feet are going to hurt. Anything that's going to help you to fulfill your mission. In other words, Hajj is like a major camping trip, a big camping trip. So take all the things that you're going to need for this major, uncomfortable camping trip. Even though there are going to be times when you're in a hotel, when you're on a bus, you're in air conditioning, you have running water, but not all of the time. And my philosophy on life and traveling is always to be prepared. Is always to be ready. And don't worry about, there's going to be food. Prepare as if it's not going to be food. Let alone your wife. If it's your first time with your wife, you want to treat her out. You want to give her a good time. You want to have her to leave with a good taste in her mouth. Bidnillah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the Hajj. You looked after her, you took care of her. And also, bidnillah ta'ala, just from the sunnah is that you treat your wife kindly. You be romantic with your wife. You make it a good experience for her because it's a life-changing experience. And it's something, bidnillah ta'ala, that she'll never, ever forget. And the better that you prepare and plan, bidnillah ta'ala, the more special that moment will be for her ibadah, let alone your relationship. There's no doubt about that. And Allah knows best. That's in brief. As far as the second question, what was Masjid Dirar? You read Surah Tawbah, the 9th chapter of the Quran Kareem. Allah tells us, verse 107 and 108, speaking about the munafiqeen, when the Prophet ﷺ went to the battle of Tabuk, and when he returned, there were some hypocrites who had made a small masjid, or they made a masjid, and they would gather in this masjid, and they would talk about the Prophet ﷺ, and they would mock him and make fun of him and the Sahaba. But when they saw the Prophet, they would smile in his face. They would say, "You're the Rasul of Allah." And before he went out to Tabuk, they asked him, "Could you pray in our masjid?" We made a masjid when it's rainy, when it's windy, when it's cold, when those people who are sick and weak and the limpy old men and they can't make it to Masjid Quba or your masjid. We made a masjid. That's the only reason why we did it. So could you please pray in it? They wanted a tazkiyah for their masjid. They wanted a tazkiyah. Show the people that our masjid is totally okay and we're not munafiqs, so we can harm more people. So the Prophet ﷺ, he told them, he says, we're traveling and we're busy. He says, but when we come back, inshallah ta'ala, if Allah wills, we'll pray in your masjid. Okay, maqila. So Allah Azza wa Jal, He sent down the revelation, لا تقم فيه أبدا. He says, don't ever stand in that place. Don't ever make salah in that place. Alright? And those two verses in Surah At-Tawbah. So therefore, they made the masjid not only as a breeding grounds to mock Islam and mock the Sahaba, mock the Prophet, but also to lessen the numbers of the people that will pray with the Prophet ﷺ, to split the believers and to weaken the believers. So Allah, He sent down those verses. Now, we don't have the time to give a full tafsir of those two ayat and explain the countless benefits from those ayats with regards to Masjid al-Dirar, meaning the masjid of harm, a masjid that was made to harm people. Let alone get into the misconceptions of many people with regards to this term Masjid Dirar. There's some people who say any masjid is not on our specific interpretation is Masjid Dirar. It's a masjid of harm. And then this goes on. But there's a lot of benefits in these two ayat, which we can't necessarily get into. A major part of the seerah, that's what Masjid al-Dirar was. The Prophet got the revelation from the heavens, not to go there, not to pray there. وَالَّذِينَ اتَّخَذُوا مَسْجِدًا, Allah says, those who took a masjid ضِرَارًا وَكُفْرًا وَتَفْرِيقًا بَيْنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَإِرْصَادًا لِمَنْ حَارَبَ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولُهُ مِنْ قَبْلِ. Allah says these people who made this masjid as dirar, harm, وَكُفْرًا, disbelief, وَتَفْرِيقًا بَيْنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, and to split up the believers, وَإِرْصَادًا لِمَنْ حَارَبَ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولُهُ مِنْ قَبْلِ, and as a means of protection and a means of making an ambush for those evil, hypocritical people. وَلَيَحْلِفُنَّ, Allah says, and indeed they will swear that they only wanted good. And Allah bears witness that they are kadhibun, they are liars. Allah says, لَا تُقُمْ فِيهِ أَبَدًا, don't ever stand therein. The masjid that's been erected, that's been built upon taqwa, مِنْ أَوَّلِ يَوْمٍ أَحَقُّ أَن تَقُومَ فِيهِ, is more deserving for you to pray therein. فِيهِ رِجَالٌ يُحِبُّونَ أَن يَتَطَهَّرُوا, Allah says, therein are men who love to stay and keep clean. In this masjid are men who love to be clean. وَاللَّهُ يُحِبُّ الْمُطَهِّرِينَ, and Allah loves those men who are clean. So the spiritual cleanliness, the cleanliness of the mind, of the soul, then the body, that's who you pray with. Alright, so that's Masjid al-Dirar. Allah sent down those ayat, and then the Prophet ﷺ commanded for some of the Sahaba to destroy the masjid, demolish it, to burn it, to get rid of it. That's in brief Masjid al-Dirar. As far as the English sources, then bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, any seerah book should have the story therein. Also the tafsir Ibn Kathir of Surah At-Tawbah. Bi'idhnillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah surely knows best.